Okay, so it is currently 10:30, and sorry about the light. I got ready. I woke up this morning at 5. I'm like, was that yesterday or today? At 5 in the morning to get ready to do my makeup and change out of my PJs because, as you know, when you're a mom, you don't have time to do those things anymore. And you have to make the time, and that meant that this morning, I had to wake up at 5 in the morning to do my makeup and get ready. And the reason I did my makeup was because I said, you know what, I woke up early, the baby was still sleeping. I was like, let me go do my makeup and, like, you know, change, you know, get a little done up, especially because I wanted to record a video. And honestly, like, I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, I have to have my makeup done when I do a video. No, but the truth of the matter is that I have days where I'm still in my PJs and I'm still like, I haven't even washed my face, and I'm like, you know what, let me record a video. And girl, let me just say, I look wild. Okay, I'm looking wild and out. I'm looking wild and crazy, and my hair is everywhere. So don't mind my hair because it was either my hair or my makeup. So yeah, I think if you're a mom, you just know exactly what I mean. So I just thought, you know what, let me do my makeup, and then that way when I record, it doesn't matter what time of the day it is, at least I won't feel like I look absolutely like disgusting. Anyway, so the video that I'm going to make today, I'm going to try to keep it not short, but I'm going to try to keep it concise because I am recording from my phone today, and I don't know how much storage like my phone will allow me to like record, so I don't think that makes sense. Anyway, so I wanted to actually talk about my birth experience, like giving my birth experience, but it's going to be different from my last video because I know that my last video was titled my birth experience. But it's more so my birth experience giving birth at Sharp Mary Birch Hospital. I do want to start off by saying that this is my own personal experience. This is not me recommending or suggesting for anyone to go give birth at Mary Birch Hospital. But I do remember when we were gonna go, you know, we did get a tour that you get to go, like schedule a tour before, like when you're still pregnant to look at the hospital and see where you're, you know, what's gonna be the your labor, like the labor and delivery room, and then also like your postpartum room. So we did get to go to that, and that was honestly like, it was one of the best experiences, and I loved the hospital. I loved the people. I had been visiting, obviously, like my doctor, but it was like at a different location at one of the Sharp locations. And everyone was always, I had never used Sharp before. I always used Kaiser before. And I would just say that Sharp is like amazing. Like I always went to Kaiser as a little kid, and even like as like I had never used a different hospital or like a different provider other than Kaiser. And so when I went to Sharp, at least for like my, you know, whenever for like the pregnancy ward and the pregnancy department, like the OBGs and everything, like everything was awesome. Super awesome. Everyone, no matter which location I was at, everyone was super supportive. I've been to the Coronado one for the emergency room. I've been to the triage at Mary Birch. I obviously gave birth there as well, and then I've been to another location for like my doctor's appointments. But basically, I had the best experience ever. Like I really did. Like, even though like my birth experience was not what I expected, just the hospital was great. The doctors were amazing. Everything was so great. The nurses were literally like the best ever. I couldn't have asked for like better nurses. We went into triage and everyone there was really caring and really nice. Anytime that we went in for anything like small, they would always make us feel really comfortable and welcome, and they'd always be like, oh, like, don't worry, like, we'll get it figured out, like, we're gonna keep you monitored and your baby, and how, like, they were always so kind. And then going into the labor and delivery room, the midwives, all the nurses that came in were great, midwives as well. Which something that I really loved about that hospital was that they actually offer you, like, you actually get assigned midwives instead of like your, like, well, how do I explain it, like your doctor. So like I expected to see like my like doctor like at the, you know, whenever I was gonna give birth, and they actually let me know like, oh, like, you know, you're gonna be seeing like the midwives, and if, you know, basically if things like became like complicated, or like there was some sort of like complication, um then I would be seen by like my doctor, like my OBGYN, my like my date, like the delivery doctor. I'm recording. It's okay. And then after that, like all the nurses postpartum, like I think that was probably like mine, my husband's favorite experience. Personally, obviously, like me being having, you know, been the one to have given birth, like that was, it was, it meant so much to me that they were so kind, and like I never felt judged. Like I was in there looking crazy every single day. Basically, only wore like underwear and bra every single day, maybe something over top some days, but my boobs were basically always out because I was breastfeeding. And it didn't matter who came in, like I never felt uncomfortable. I They always made me feel 100% comfortable. I never felt judged because of the way that I looked after I gave birth. And like I know maybe like people would say like, well, duh, like because they're nurses, but I mean, we're still women. I'm sorry, but like some that I know that there's people that, you know, probably maybe didn't have the best experience, or could, you know, have experienced something like that, like judgment. And you know, so anyway, I always felt so comfortable, super taken care of. They would come in, like, I know like people say like, oh, you know, like they come in so often, and yeah, sometimes like I would be like, dang, like please don't come in, because literally sometimes like the nurses would come in at the worst times because the baby would have like just fallen asleep and like stayed in the bassinet. So then we were like, oh, please, like please don't come in, because then sometimes she would wake up. But even if that happened, like the nurses would help to put like swaddle the baby, and sometimes like at least always swaddled the baby. Like they would be super mindful of everything and everyone, like all of us in the room, like all three of us. And they would always, every single nurse would always come in, and before they left they would always ask, do you need something, what do you need, what can I get you? And almost always I would want like ice chips and water. And like I remember, I actually remember, I can't remember if it was, I think it was, yeah, I think it was after I gave birth, when I like woke up from after like surgery and like having like gone to the postpartum room and everything. Like after I actually like had slept and everything and I woke up, I remember one nurse, I think, asked me if I was hungry, and it was actually, I think, like midnight or something like that. It was late, and there was like no more like obviously like their kitchen was closed and everything. But she literally went, I guess there was like, I never saw it because like my husband was the one who saw it, because he would always go out to get me like ice chips and like water, or snacks and things like that. But I guess there was like an area where you could get like a snack or something. And the nurse literally went like asked me if I was hungry, and I actually was so hungry, and she was like, I'm like, the kitchens are closed right now, but let me go see what I can get you. And she brought me back like an actual, like a sandwich. And it's not like, like it wasn't like she went and made the sandwich, but she brought me like a packaged sandwich. And it was just such a kind gesture, because I was like, wow, like, like she cared about like whether I was hungry or not, and she like thought about me, and that was really sweet. And then just like they were always on point with like the medicines, like, providing me like my medicines on time, and every single time, like no matter what, like they would like clean up too. Like they would, if they saw trash, like they would help pick up some trash. They would ask like, can we take your trays? Like they would like bring, like I said, like my biggest the main thing I would always ask for was like juice, or like water, and ice chips. For sure, ice chips were like my favorite, because they had like the good ice chips at the hospital. But yeah, that's probably one of like my favorite memories, because I ate a lot of those, and that was fun. But yeah, I had the best experience, and I was just so happy. Like I even got emotional when I was leaving the hospital, because I was like, wow, like we were only in that room for 4 days, but it felt so long. Like it felt such a long stay. And then once we had to go, it was like we literally like were like, dang, like we're gonna miss the nurses. Like it was really nice. But like I said, like if, for example, too, like if they like had to wake up the baby to like do any sort of testing, or like weigh her, or do anything like that, they would always like swaddle her back up. Like they wouldn't just give her to us, or like sometimes they would even change her diaper. And like that was really nice, because then it was just like, it was such a small thing, but like it was so much help. But yeah, I can't really think of anything else. But that was definitely a really great experience. So, and the reason I wanted to do like a video like this was because it's okay. Was because whenever when we knew that I was gonna be giving birth there, we actually looked it up. Like we looked it up to see if, I don't know, if anyone had done like a vlog, or any sort of thing like that. But they but no, we couldn't find anything. We only found like one video, and I think it was like in regards to like the NICU, or it was like a promotional video, I think, sort of thing. And it was like by Sharp. But yeah, I just figured like if anyone lives in San Diego and was like curious, like that was my personal experience. And then the room too, like the labor where you give birth was like our room was really big. And then also like our postpartum room was pretty, I would say it was bigger than the one that they showed us, because the one that they showed us was actually like the one that they showed us while we were on tour, like when we went to tour the hospital, was pretty small. But the one that we ended up staying in was definitely bigger, and I think it was because I had a C-section, because it was really hard to like, it's really hard to like walk and stuff like after. And so I feel like it's almost like meant for you to have like, excuse me, like more room for you to like get it, like manage and like get around. But yeah, it was a great experience, and so I just kind of wanted to talk about it. The nurses made everything, like the doctors, the nurses, like especially the nurses. I can't stop talking about the nurses, because they were so amazing, and I feel like they absolutely made our experience. Like it was a lot of like, we felt a lot of mixed emotions, and we went through a lot of things there, but they were so helpful. And the lactation consultants, especially, there was one lactation consultant that I will not forget. Her name's Regina, and she literally, the day that I was going to leave the hospital was the day that I saw her, and I was struggling with breastfeeding like quite a bit. And we were having to feed my baby like formula, I had to use the nipple shield and feed my baby formula through like the syringe. And it was really hard. It was so much work. We were so exhausted. Like, if you ever had to do that, like, you know how hard that is, because you have to wash like all these tiny little pieces, and you have to like wash them for every single feed, and you have to dry them really well, and then placing the nipple shield and then placing it in the way that it's gonna go, you know, and like it's really complicated. And the day that we're due to leave the hospital and come home was the day that I saw her, and she was like my guardian angel, like my savior, because she taught me like that I could breastfeed. Like, I thought I had like inverted nipples, and she explained to me that no, and like showed me how, and like ever since I've been able to breastfeed my baby, and everything's just gotten better. So shout out to Mary Birch, because they are really an amazing hospital. I haven't had a single bad experience at any location or with anyone up until this point. Even like when I like call, or never had an issue. But yeah, if you guys have had similar experiences, or that's where you gave birth, like I would love to hear about you guys' experiences. I only know like few people that have given birth there, and it's not like friends, it was actually like family, and they gave birth like years ago. So it'd be nice to hear like from like someone's like, you know, recent like experience. Yeah, bye. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I was gonna say follow, but subscribing is basically following on YouTube, and comment. And this is UnCut. Bye.